Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show powered by Permane Brothers. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, of course, we have Jim Rosati. Jim, Pirates win 4-3. Don Kelly is 2 for 2 in games he's been the manager of. He started and finished in.
Donnie Baseball, baby.
Donnie Baseball. Also, happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. Well, the mothers out there,
the mothers
in particular. Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day, Jim. Yes, to all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. The Pirates gave you a victory today. We thought it wasn't going to happen there for a second. It was 3-0. Suddenly became 3-3. Joey Bart walks it off 4-3. Joey Bart having an outstanding recent stretch here offensively.
Yeah, 4 hits yesterday, 3 hits today. The walk-off today. You love to see it. I mean, the whole time we've been having this season, Bart's had a pretty good year, really all around. But the run producing has really just kind of fallen on Oneil Cruz's shoulders for the most part. So it's nice to see someone else kind of take over a game.
Right.
Or a series like this.
Joey Bart on the year. By the way, also kind of like, wow. I mean, he was having a solid season, but this kind of crept up. 301 batting average. Joey Bart, 301, 419, 388, a 133 weighted runs created plus. Now 10 RBIs on the year. Yeah, Joey Bart, like being the offensive guy with Oneil Cruz, especially with Oneil Cruz being out today due to the injury. This lineup did not look all that wonderful. Chris Sale on the mound just smelled disaster. Carmen Majinski making the start. We know his struggles smelled disaster. Donnie Kelly's Pirates persevere, get the 4-3 victory. That's baseball, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, this has kind of been the recipe for every Pirates win up to this point, right? Like really good starting pitching. Bullpen keeps it in there despite looking a little shaky at times. And the offense does just enough. Like that's kind of every Pirates win right now. So, I mean, shout out to Carmen Mlodzinski.
Very much.
His best start by far. I mean, just an absolutely stellar start from him. I do want to talk about that a little bit as we go into this, but I mean, 5 2/3 scoreless. He was efficient. He really didn't get into trouble at all. It was a pretty stress-free outing for him, which was really, really nice to see. Again, I still think his best spot is in the bullpen, but excellent start. I mean, you can't ask for more than that from Carmen Mlodzinski.
For sure. And before we go any further into Carmen Mlodzinski, I definitely want to talk about him as well. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs. And BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, and even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to our BetOnline casino with all the top-style Vegas games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, you said it's his best start. It's been bad. Like, holistically, all of his numbers, it's been bad. This wasn't his best start just simply because, well, by laws of averages, it had to be because everything has also been bad. Like, this was really, really good. Like, Carmen Majinski wasn't just good enough to make his best start. He was impressive today.
I mean, he legitimately out-dueled Chris Sale.
Yes.
Straight up. Like, Chris Sale gave up 8 hits. Carmen gave up 4. Sale gave up 3 runs. Majinski gave up 0. Sale walked 2. Majinski walked 1. Sale had him in the strikeout category, but I mean, he went up against one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he was better than him today.
The former Cy Young winner. Like, yeah, This is a guy coming off the Cy Young, still one of the best. Absolutely. Carmen Majinski, yes, he outdueled him. And again, like looking, it's not as if the Braves lineup is spectacular either by any means, right? But it's certainly better on paper than the Pirates, right? So you're like looking at this as well. Chris Sale's got to face this Pirates also without Oneil Cruz. Majinski going against the Braves lineup, and he absolutely did. He looked very good. Had the fastball going, the slider. Absolutely best start from Carmen Mlodzinski. You know, if he did more of these over the season, you would probably be saying, you know what? Let's keep him in the starter position. I'm with you. This is one moment. This is one really good start. If we're going to see more or not, I don't know. I was also curious too. Like Don Kelly's new manager. How's he going to utilize Majinski? You've talked about it as well beforehand. So today was like, okay, what are we going to see? Well, Carmen didn't allow that choice or opportunity to be made. He said, well, I'm just going to shove the entire time so you don't ever have to think about take me out now. I guess the only thing you could say is he went 5.2. He didn't go the full 6. There was a guy on the base and he had a total of 83 pitches. Was that the right call? Bringing in Brucky there?
I probably would have let him go one more, but I mean, Brucky got the out, so you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, he was dealing today, and I think like the last start, it was clear the game plan was you're going through the lineup 2 times no matter what, and then we're pulling you because he had a good start last time out as well. Let's not say it was a good start, but it wasn't a bad start.
It was effective.
And 2 outs in that 5th inning, they pull him, and you could tell he was very upset about that. Today, they let him go a little bit into that 3rd time through. And again, he just kept being effective. I want to talk about, and they brought this up on the broadcast too, like his pitch mix. Typically, whenever you have a pitcher like this and he has problems the 2nd, 3rd time through, it's because he doesn't really have a ton of pitches. So whenever you see him a 2nd or a 3rd time, you've already seen everything that they have to offer, right?
Right.
And today, they mentioned on the broadcast, through 3 innings, Carmen Mlodzinski was at 52% fastballs thrown. He ended the game at 43% fastballs thrown. So what that means is that, you know, the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, he was really mixing in his other stuff to make it so that those Braves hitters hadn't already seen everything that he has to offer kind of that first time through. He was very heavy fastball the first few innings, and then he shifted more to that slider sweeper combo in the later innings, and he threw in some sinkers in there as well. But he didn't throw too many 4-seam fastballs after the 3rd inning. He went to the sinker, he went to the sweeper, he went to the slider. So it was just kind of interesting to see that dynamic. There was a change in game plan maybe a little bit here, where like he didn't show everything early on. And I'm curious on how much effect that had in the later innings for him, because the Braves hitters hadn't seen his sweeper, they hadn't seen his slider, they hadn't seen his sinker. He saved those for the later innings to kind of just keep them off balance the whole time. So it was a good game plan. They stuck to it and it worked.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to point it here. It was 6 straight fastballs to start the game. They went sweeper right back to the fastball. Then Olsen up, of course. Lefty went a little more slider there. But yeah, like he had that slider going, producing some weak contact. Didn't have a whole lot of swing and miss today. But again, like his pitches were effective. Like you said, the pitch mix was definitely up there. He looked good. Like I had no complaints. He did exactly what you expected. Like the first time the lineup came through, he looked good. And I was like, okay, now let's pay attention. And it still happened to look good. And like you mentioned, also threw a little bit the 3rd. So I like that, had a little bit of confidence in him. I mean, that's the thing. Like we know he's a talented pitcher. It's can he hold up to be a starter? And when he was looking to be effective still, like I was like, keep him there. You know, like I didn't have any problem with this. As long as he's looking fine. He's always shown signs, I feel like, when it's about to fall apart. But they've kept him out there, which of course you kind of need to, because he is a starter. So you want to have a starter performance. But today he never showed those signs. Like you mentioned, like it was pretty stress-free, easy the entire time, even through the 2nd out in the 6th inning there. So yeah, I wouldn't have mind going the full 6, but I also appreciate, like, you know what? Hey, it's almost like the Bailey Falter thing. Like you did 5.2, you looked really good. There's a guy on. Let's just go and get Berucki in here right now and finish this, which, by the way, Berucki did. And Berucki had to go a little bit longer today, I felt like, probably because the bullpen usage, right? Guys were a little bit tired, used. So Berucki went and pitched, fantastic as well. He did multiple innings to cover some ground. So Berucki continued to let that be a scoreless game, which this was looking to be towards a win until Rainey had to come in.
Yeah, Berucki was outstanding. One of his better outings of the season. He had that rough game. When was it? It was against the Yankees back on April 6th. But really, since then, he's been really, really good. And just to kind of pull up his numbers here, he's got a 0.93 earned run average in his last 10 appearances. That was heading into today. So, he's 11 games in a row. He's been really solid.
Yeah, that Yankees one, he gave up 3 earned runs. Outside of that, 2 for the rest of the year. So, yeah, he hasn't been as crisp as maybe some others. Well, I don't know, actually at this point in time, about the same. But no, he has. He's been very effective, very, very solid reliever for this team. For a guy who looked good, was injured all of last year, and came on as a minor league deal for this offseason, he's been a big staple and a big part of this bullpen up to now. But yeah, Tyler Rainey comes in. 2 hits, walk. I'm sorry, Tanner Rainey comes in. 2 hits, walk, bases loaded, struggled. Was that an opportunity? And again, I'm just, hey, let's double check. Let's talk about this a little bit. Was that an opportunity to keep Berucki in for that 1 out too? He threw 20 pitches. He's done more than that. Actually, just as recently, he threw 28 pitches on May 2nd. He also threw 26, April 6th. So it was one of those, if it's like he doesn't really top out here. Do you think maybe they should have kept Berucki in for 1 more instead of letting Rainey come in there?
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been the look, especially looking back, right? I don't necessarily think it's a problem going to Rainey there. Like, he's not your best option, but at that time in the game, like we were talking in the Discord, and it's like, why is Tanner Rainey pitching in high leverage? Well, it's like, well, that wasn't really a high leverage situation. You're up by 3, there's nobody on base, and you need 1 out. That's about as low leverage really as you can get. The Pirates at that point had a 97% win expectancy. So like, it wasn't a high leverage situation when they put him in. It was just Tanner Rainey created a high leverage situation with what he did out there. At the end of the day, Tanner Rainey needs to get 1 guy out. But no, if you're asking me what I would have done, I would have let Berucki just get that last out. He was rolling. There was nobody on base, so there wasn't really any sort of like dilemma for him or trouble for him. If
right.
maybe he lets somebody get on base, then you take him out. But at that point, 20 pitches, it's not like he's been overstressed. I would have left him in, but I also can't necessarily fault going to Rainey if it was like, okay, he's given us 6 outs. Rainey needs to get Rainey needs to get an out there. Plain and simple. And then Joey Wentz needs to not give up a 3-run double.
Yeah. I don't know. That's something I kind of struggle with a little bit here. I would have probably kept it 1 more out. And I was like, on first. But again, like, Berucki's looked good. It's not as he's reached his max capability of, pitches thrown and whatnot. He was going. He had to a little bit today, and he was efficient. And his efficiency is what led to this question. Right? It's not as if he had thrown 30 pitches. Well, then at that point in time, like, yeah, make the turnover. Rainey has to do his job. And that's, again, like the other thing. Like, you always can question about the managers, right? But the players do have to do their job. Rainey didn't do his job, and then, of course, Wentz didn't do his job. But, of course, Wentz was put in a situation where bases were loaded. There's a guy at the plate who's pretty damn good, and Murphy as a hitter. But yeah, so that ties the game. I was nervous. I don't know how you felt, but I was nervous because, again, we've seen this song and dance, but the Pirates were able to persevere. Dennis Santana, the dope boy, Mr. Efficient.
I feel like every inning from Dennis Santana lasts like 60 seconds at this point. Like, it's like, all right, Dennis Santana's in. Well, inning's over.
How does he do this time and time again? Now, I know he had that struggling inning a few days ago not kind of recent where he gave us some runs, didn't look that good. But like, yeah, you're right. And this guy since spring, has he ever thrown an inning, maybe except for that one, like more than 12 pitches or something? Like he's just phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at his game log right now. He's thrown over 20 pitches twice this year. Like he just doesn't have he doesn't really give up base runners. He doesn't really strike out a ton of people either. He's just
Right.
throwing strikes and guys can't hit it.
But that's the thing, right? Like he's not like a strikeout thrower where he's gonna like again, why does Paul Skeens not go deep into games? Well, because he strikes out a bunch of guys. Part of it, right? Like Dennis Santana's not a game. He just induces like these weak contact, just gets guys out. I mean, but he does it time and time again. And he's been doing this now for some time. Right. I mean, he came over, I think June 16th is that date always sticks in my mind. I think that's when like his second appearance, because that first one was pretty bad. He's just been doing this almost like, it's gonna be a full calendar year soon. Guy's good.
He has a really good pitch that he throws it a lot. And whenever you throw his two pitches actually that are pretty darn good, his fastball and his slider, but like that slider of his is really good. And if he's throwing it where he wants to, like it's just hard to hit really good, well-placed sliders. And so that's kind of just what he's been getting away with right now is he's got a really, really good slider. He's locating it well. He's throwing it a lot, throws it 53% of the time, which is even up from last year. He only threw it 32% of the time last year. So he's just spamming his slider right now, and he's throwing it for strikes, and hitters are batting 154 off of it and slugging 192. Like,
yeah,
it's a really good pitch.
Well, if I do recall, that's one like the fundamental changes since being with the Yankees to the Pirates, that change as well. Like he started throwing it much more with the Pirates than he was with the Yankees, which helped that turnaround last year. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. So, I mean, the pitching side, outside of Rainey, essentially, I know Wentz did give up the double that led to the 3 runs, but all that was really on Rainey's fault. Pitching was good today. The offense, it was good enough. It needs to be better. It still does. Like they finally broke 4 runs. I'll say it's been almost 3 weeks, I think, where they've not been able to score more than 3 runs. They have 4 today, but also again, like this is Chris Sale. This is a team that was without Oneil Cruz. As I jokingly said earlier in the game, I mean, the top 2 guys in the lineup today with OPSs of like 599 and 614 at that time. Then you go down the hill, and the other guys were like 400 around that and less to round out the bottom 3. Like this isn't a good lineup. They faced Chris Sale. They had 10 total hits today, 9 strikeouts. They did strike out a lot, 4 hits. Runners in scoring position, 1 for 6. Like all the things that usually hurt them, they did. They just did enough today to score the 4 runs to win. And again, the pitching held up to allow that.
Yeah, I mean the only hit with runners in scoring position was Joey Bart in the 5th because they counted that 9th inning on a fielder's choice. But I'll say this, like the bottom of the order, when you saw that lineup today, you just said, okay, well, here we go again. And what I mean by that is Matt Gorski, Alexander Canario, Tommy Pham, Jared Triolo, Liover Peguero. Those were your 5 through 9 hitters today. Gorski, he didn't look great at the plate. He did pick up a hit though. Canario was on base twice. He got a double. That's 3 games in a row now. Canario has an extra base hit. Tommy Pham got on base, but he was over 3. He didn't have a great game. Triolo with a hit, Peguero with a hit, and a hit by pitch. So, like the bottom of the order did a lot more than what you would expect them to do, and you scored 2 out of those 4 runs from your 8 and 9 hole. Triolo with a run, and then Adam Frazier with a pinch hit in the 9th, leading that off in the 9th inning with the winning run. So, yeah, they did their job today. I mean, you got to give them credit. It was a tough matchup for them, and those guys absolutely should be overmatched by a pitcher like Chris Sale. And they didn't really do anything pretty. Like even Canario's double, which was the only extra base hit this team had today, it was just like a jam shot that was just placed perfectly down the first baseline. Joey Bart was really the only guy hitting the ball hard today.
Yeah.
And but they were able to put the ball in play and make things happen.
No, I mean, honestly, it's like the Pirates did what you usually see against them. They baby-whipped their way. You talk about Gorski's hit, 79 miles an hour exit velocity, 3 feet. It traveled. This wasn't, I mean, Gorski's here because, hey, maybe he hit the balls over the fence. It went 3 feet. He gets a single out of it. Now, he does try to attempt to steal second base, gets thrown out. Canario's double that happened, like that could have potentially drove, Gorski in if that was successful. It doesn't, but yeah, I mean, they were kind of baby-bipping the way, you take that. It's usually you see it on the other end. It was nice to see it on the Pirates end this time. But yeah, so sorry, as mentioned, Hayes leads the game off because Oneil Cruz is out. Lefty's up there, Chris Sale, so that kind of made some sense. Hayes goes 2 for 5 today. Does have that run, but let's also talk about this: the double steal. That was kind of a big moment in the game here. Double steal, Gorski on second, Hayes at first. Take third and second. It's kind of a catalyst. This things to start here.
Yeah, I mean that was in the 5th inning. That's when the Pirates did all their scoring there. Triolo singled, Hayes singled, and then
I'm sorry, it's Triolo. My bad, not Triolo.
Yeah, and then the double steal there. So, and that led to a run too with the pass ball.
Yeah.
So that's how they got on board there. So yeah, the aggressiveness was nice today. Ji-hwan Bae pinch ran for the 2nd game in a row and stole a base for the 2nd game in a row. So like that's if you're going to play Ji-hwan Bae or you're going to have him on this team, that is the one thing that he can do for you, where he can be sort of that difference maker. But he's got to be able to execute on those stolen bases. You saw him today where it was like go, 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 and he finally did go, and he got the base, very easily. But yeah, if Bae's going to be on this team, he's going to have to steal bases for you, plain and simple. He didn't end up coming around to score there, but he did his job as far as the pinch running situation goes.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just, again, like the offense just kind of weird. I know they won, they did enough to win, but yeah, it was just still not the most desirable. Kutch does go 1 for 3 today with a walk. Reynolds 0 for 4. Reynolds is still struggling so bad. I don't know what's going to get this guy going, when it's going to get going for him. Yeah, I don't know, man. What's up with Reynolds?
I'll say Reynolds looked good in the field today, at least.
Yeah,
he showed off his arm a little bit, but yeah, I mean, he's not himself right now. He's striking out way too much. I mean, at some point he has to get out of this because this team, he's too important to this offense to just disappear like he has been. And I believe the Pirates are last in Major League Baseball in runs scored, last or 29th, one of the two. And a big reason for that is because Brian Reynolds isn't hitting.
Yeah.
That's a big reason. Like you need to, going into this year, we knew offense was going to be a problem, but you thought you could at least count on Cruz, Reynolds, and Kutch. Like those were the 3 guys where it's like, okay, I think we can count on these guys. And then you were hoping to get the same stuff out of Bart as you got last year. But when you take one of that away and the rest of the team is doing what they're doing on a day in, day out basis, it's a problem. And it's why they're not winning games right now. It's because the offense is so bad. And one of the reasons why the offense is so bad is because Brian Reynolds he's basically playing his worst baseball of his career.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we know it's bad because it's not deep. I mean, it really is 3 guys. But the problem is when it is just 3 guys and one guy's off, that's a third of what your offense is, and you only have a third of your lineup as your offense. So yeah, I mean, it's bad. Today it kind of showed. I mean, I know it started off with Hayes and Reynolds being out. Kutch gets a single, then of course Bart comes up and gets out too. But yeah, I mean, it's not deep, and with Reynolds being off, like it's It's no wonder this team's only scoring 3 runs or less typically.
Yeah, I mean, according to WAR, because the defense has also been bad. I mean, Brian Reynolds has been the worst Pirate this year.
As far as like qualified or in totality?
In totality.
Real okay. I didn't realize that. I thought there was
Yeah.
others that were also worse.
There's others that are just
there you
as
go.
bad. But yeah,
well, just as bad isn't worse.
He's the worst.
Okay. Well, that says a lot. And that's the thing. I mean, the defense has been bad. The move to right field made more sense than left field. And again, for reasons we see the arm, but like it still hasn't been great. But simply be like the guy needs to have offense. It's one of the reasons why he's here. He's really not here for the defense. The defense could be okay and adequate enough at right field if he was producing like he typically is producing. But okay, yeah, like Joe just said, worse than Sawinski. I was again assuming others were still worse than him. But I was wrong. But yeah, man.
Worse than Pham.
But Pham's had good defense. I could also
Pham's
understand how that evens out.
Pham's been even worse offensively. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, like, but at least he has something to counteract it with. I thought they'd be close, but
yeah, they're close, but yeah, he's worse.
Yeah, that's eye-opening though. You see this offense, you see these guys that are on here. To say that Brian Reynolds has been the worst Pirate hitter, well, that kind of tells you some things. He can't be. Now, I don't think this is going to go on, right? I'm not saying like he's not worth his contract and this is a bust and blah, 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 and all that stuff, but like he does have to be better. It is now the middle of May. Yeah. Outside of that, anything else you want to talk about? I know it's Jared Triolo Gold Glove Day. He had some nice defense out there. He had a hit today.
Yeah, Triolo Gold
Robbed
Glove
of
Day.
another hit.
I do want to address one thing here. Someone made a comment, I think, with Steel City DW, and I just want to address this comment. Steel City DW. I think you said that yesterday I told Tyler that I thought Rainey was pretty good. I'm pretty sure it was the other way around. Tyler was trying to gas up Tanner Rainey, and I was like, I don't have any problems with Tanner Rainey, but I was like, I think he's just like the 13th best reliever on this team. So I don't know. It was a rough outing for Tanner Rainey. I just want to make sure I address that. I'm a Tanner Rainey fan.
I will confirm.
But
Tyler was the one that you brought up, and you said, He's. I remember what you said exactly.
I was like, he's a guy.
Whatever.
He's a guy.
Yeah. And I mean, that's probably what it is. I know I talked to him on the offseason. Like I thought that was a guy to pick up, which they did. I mean, again, he has parts that are kind of intriguing, but yeah, he's depth. That's what he is. Unfortunately, his team kind of needs some depth right now, and he's up here. I mean, every team is essentially going to have a Rainey type player.
I mean, there's like Tanner Rainey is. I'm completely cool with him being on the team right now.
Yeah,
he is a fine 12th or 13th option out of your bullpen.
That's kind of how I feel. Yep. Does it mean
anything else I want to talk about? The only thing I'll say is, and I've been kind of banging the door on this one for a while. Keep playing Alexander Canario. Like I don't think he's good, but there's something there, and it's like let's just find out. The season's over. Like Alexander Canario should be getting more playing time than Tommy Pham over the next like 2 weeks. He needs to be playing almost every day.
I put out some information on Twitter. I put it on IG. I know I'm getting some flack on it, and it now makes me feel as if like I'm saying Canario's good, right? It's not. I'm glad you brought this up because I did bring up a little bit ago, and I'm sure maybe we'll talk about it on Bucko Brew tomorrow. But I'm absolutely with you. You know, if this team was in a situation that they should be, and it's about winning, you don't allow Canario to see what he can do. You need guys here that can win. You need guys that are producing, and that's what matters. But since they're now, well, I guess 14 and 27, they're out of it. Like you mentioned, Tommy Pham's there. There's nothing about Tommy Pham that makes me feel as if he's going to turn things around and he can be better and whatever. When you look at everything about him, he just looks bad. Looks like he's probably going to continue being bad. Canario, I think, is also not going to be good. Like, for all the reasons, all the tools that I'm using to say, like, hey, this is intriguing, also tells me it's probably not going to be sustainable, which sustainable is probably not a good word either because he has bad luck. Production's not good right now either, right? Like, you're not going to sustain, but he's not playing good
He is a
either. But
59
regardless,
weighted runs created plus. Like, yeah, like let's say it what it is. Like
but
he's not he is not performing great
n-
at the plate.
right, like he's not, but there is some bad luck tied to that. He could and should be probably doing better than that. But also, like, the guy just doesn't make contact. I mean, we saw it today. Also, good point. His first time at bat, Chris Sale threw a 93-mile-an-hour fastball right down the pipe, and he swung right through it. Like, the guy just doesn't make contact with the baseball. But at this point in time, every time that he does, it's like the best possible contact you can make. So, in the sense of not having Tommy Pham out there, putting Canario now on a 14 in 2017, like, yes, that's where I'm at too. Like, yeah, I want to see how this normalizes. Like, who is Canario? What are you going to get out of this? Can he be a depth piece later on? Can he be whatever? Unfortunately, in year 6, you have that opportunity to do it again. But I'm with you. Give him some sort of a run because there's interesting parts about Canario. I don't think it turns into a good player, but let's find out.
Yeah. Let's find out. Season's over. I would rather see Canario in there every day than Pham at this point.
Right. And truth be told, he actually is performing better than Pham. So
Yeah.
production-wise, even
Yeah. And he's hitting better.
nothing to bang the table on, but he is
Right.
performing better. Should we also see who's going to be the winner of sandwiches today?
Let's do that. Let's give away
Let's
some
do that.
sandwiches. Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Everyone put in your hashtag raise it into the comments. You know what we're going to do. We're going to give you a little bit of time here. Jim, why don't you tell everyone what to do?
Yeah, everybody. While you're putting in your hashtag raise its, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the page if you haven't already. But yeah, hashtag raise it. That'll get you into the contest for 2 free Permane Brothers sandwiches. We're going to give away 4 sandwiches today. Series win. 8 sandwiches this weekend.
This is awesome. I did a post-game show on Friday and they won. I did a post-game show on Sunday and they won. So once again, every time that Don Kelly starts and finishes a game as the manager and I do a post-game show of, we're 100. We're batting 1,000 on that.
There you go. Don Kelly feeding America.
All right. We got 120 total entries. Let's go ahead and do this. Our very first winner is in the drawing. Let's go. So who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Jeffrey.
That's a repeat. I think that's a repeat.
I've seen Sonic the Hedgehog before.
Yeah. Congrats, Jeffrey. That's crazy. I think we've had 3 repeats already, and we haven't had too many wins. It's wild.
14 wins, and we've had 3. Well, Jeffrey, I probably have your information already, but reach out to me just in case. Let's go get you the sandwiches. And let's draw again for our next winner.
Yeah, let's get a new person here. Let's get a new one.
If you don't, download the Permane Brothers app.
There we go. That's a new one.
Open Creations.
Definitely. Opened Creations. Congrats.
There it is. Definitely a first-time winner, I believe, for Open Creations. Long-time follower. I remember seeing them quite often. So congrats. So yeah, if you haven't already, download the Permane Brothers app. Whether you have it or don't, send me the email that you're utilizing to use with that app. And we'll get those 2 sandwiches over. Tomorrow's Monday, so I assume they'll probably be in your account tomorrow. So congratulations to both the winners. Congratulations to Don Kelly and the Pittsburgh Pirates. They won again today. 14 victories on the year, baby. World Series back on.
Playing the parade, Ed.
Plan it. Get your PTO in. Let's do this. We'll see you guys in October. All right, let's get out of here. Tomorrow, though, we will be back. Bucko Brew, 7 a.m. Let's talk about some victories.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's get out of here. We love you all. Bye-bye.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucs.